get it!
Somewhere out in deep space, a human soldier is about to be left behind. His own team makes that choice. They think he is too slow, too weak, too human. But what happens next will change everything they believe about strength. Reports from across dozens of alien-controlled sectors suggest that humans have quietly become the most feared species in known space. But the truth behind this will shock you. Tonight, you will learn 3 things almost nobody talks about. First, why an alien squad would abandon their only human member in the middle of a hunting ground. Second, what kind of creature was truly waiting in that darkness. Third, and most shocking of all, who ends up walking out alive by the end of this night. This is not just a story about survival. It is a story about what happens when you underestimate the one person nobody should ever underestimate. Let me show you exactly how this happened. Deep in the Outer Rim, on a moon called Vesek 9, a mixed squad of alien soldiers moved through a thick, dark forest. The trees were tall and black, and no sunlight reached the ground. Fog covered everything. The squad had 6 members. 5 of them were aliens from different worlds. Tall ones, fast ones, strong ones, and one of them was human. His name was Corporal Ren Castillo. He was from Earth, and he had joined the Coalition Defense Force 3 years ago. He was not the strongest soldier in his squad. He was not the fastest. His alien teammates could jump twice as high as him. They could see in the dark. They could smell danger from far away. Ren could do none of that. He had only his training, his rifle, and his mind. The squad's mission was simple: find a downed supply ship, recover the cargo, leave before nightfall. But nightfall came faster on Vesek 9 than anyone expected. The moon's rotation was strange. The sky turned black in minutes, not hours. As the fog grew thicker, the squad leader, a tall alien named Squad Leader Doran, began to worry. Doran was from a warrior race called the Kael'thai. His people were proud. They believed in strength above all else. He had never liked having a human on his team. He believed humans were fragile creatures who slowed everyone down. "We need to move faster," Doran said. "The human is falling behind again." Ren was breathing hard. His legs were tired. The ground was uneven, full of roots and mud. He tried to keep up, but the aliens moved like shadows through the trees. He called out, "Wait, I can still make it. Just slow down a little." But Doran did not slow down. He kept walking. The other 4 aliens followed him without a word. Deep in the forest, something else was watching. It did not move. It did not make a sound. It simply waited, the way a predator waits when it already knows it will winches. The squad reached the crash site an hour later. The supply ship was broken in half, buried in mud. Doran ordered the team to gather the cargo quickly. Ren worked just as hard as the others, dragging heavy crates through the muck, sweat dripping down his face despite the cold air. As they packed the last crate, one of the aliens, a scout named HFY, noticed something strange. The forest had gone silent. No wind, no insects, no sound at all. "Something is wrong," HFY whispered. Doran ignored her. He was in a hurry. He wanted to leave this moon as soon as possible. He gave the order to move. The squad began walking back through the dark forest, this time even faster than before. Ren struggled to keep pace. His boots sank into the mud with every step. He shouted for the group to wait, but his voice was swallowed by the fog. Doran, walking at the front, made a decision in that moment. A decision that would change everything. "Leave him," Doran said quietly to the others. "He is too slow. We cannot risk the mission for one soldier." The other aliens hesitated, but none of them argued. They trusted Doran's judgment. Within seconds, 5 shapes vanished into the fog, leaving Ren completely alone in the middle of the forest. Ren stopped walking. He looked around. The trees stretched endlessly in every direction. He called out for his team, but no one answered. For the first time since landing on Vesek 9, he understood the truth. He had been abandoned. And somewhere in the darkness behind him, something began to move. Ren stood frozen for a moment, trying to control his breathing. Panic was dangerous. He had learned that during training. Panic made soldiers make mistakes. He forced himself to think clearly. He checked his rifle. Full charge. He checked his comms device. Static. No signal. The thick fog on Vesek 9 was blocking every frequency. He was truly alone, with no way to call for help. He decided to walk in the direction his squad had gone. It was his best chance to catch up. He moved carefully, watching every shadow, listening to every sound. The forest felt different now. Heavier, colder, as if something invisible was pressing down on the air itself. Meanwhile, Doran's squad continued moving toward the extraction point. VEY, the scout, kept glancing behind her. She could not shake the feeling that something had gone terribly wrong. "We should not have left him," she said. Doran did not answer right away. Deep down, even he felt a small twist of guilt. But he pushed it away. Humans were replaceable, he told himself. The mission mattered more than one soldier. Back in the forest, Ren heard something for the first time. A soft crack, like a branch snapping under weight. He stopped walking and raised his rifle. His heart pounded in his chest. He waited several seconds. Nothing happened. He told himself it was just the wind, even though there was no wind at all. He kept moving, faster now. The trees around him seemed to grow taller, darker, closer together. He could barely see 3 steps ahead. Then he heard it again. Another crack. Closer this time. Ren's training kicked inches. He remembered his instructor's words from years ago. When you sense danger, do not run blindly. Find higher ground. Find a place to see and not be seen. He spotted a large rock formation nearby and climbed toward it. From the top, he could see a wider view of the forest below. The fog was thinner here, and that is when he saw it. A shape moved between the trees. It was massive, taller than any alien he had ever seen. Its skin looked wet and dark, almost like it absorbed the little light around it. It moved on 4 powerful legs, but its front limbs looked almost like long, clawed arms. It made no sound as it walked, which was the most terrifying part of all. Ren's blood went cold. This was not a normal predator. This was something built for silent killing. He remembered old reports from Coalition scouts about a creature nicknamed the Hollow by soldiers who barely survived encounters with it. Nobody had ever seen one clearly and lived to describe it in detail. Most of what people knew came from destroyed camera footage and terrified survivors. Ren realized, with a sinking feeling, that his squad was walking directly into its path, and they had no idea. He had two choices. He could run in the opposite direction and try to survive alone, or he could try to warn the team that had just abandoned him. He chose the second option, and he began to move toward them as fast as he could. Ren moved through the dark forest with a new sense of urgency. His fear was still there, but something stronger now pushed him forward. He could not let his team walk blindly into danger, even after they left him behind. He picked up his pace, staying low and quiet, using the trees for cover. Every few seconds, he glanced behind him, checking for movement. The creature he had seen earlier was gone from view, but that did not mean it was gone from the area. Things like that did not simply disappear. They waited. They watched. Ahead, Doran's squad continued their march toward the extraction point. HFY suddenly stopped walking. She raised her hand, signaling the others to freeze. "Do you hear that?" she whispered. Everyone listened. At first, there was nothing. Then, faintly, they heard footsteps. Not their footsteps. Something heavy, moving slowly through the mud behind them. Doran turned around, weapon ready. "Show yourself," he called out, trying to sound confident. No answer came. The footsteps stopped. At that same moment, Ren appeared from the fog, breathing hard, waving his arms. "Wait. Don't move. There's something out here. Something big. And it's hunting all of us." Doran was stunned to see him. "How did you catch up?" "That doesn't matter right now," Ren said. "Listen to me. I saw it. It's massive, and it moves without making a sound. It's been tracking us since the crash site." The squad exchanged nervous glances. HFY, who had sensed something wrong earlier, nodded slowly. "He's right. Something has been following us for the last 20 minutes. Doran hesitated. Pride told him to dismiss the human's warning, but logic told him to listen. For the first time, he chose logic over pride. "Formation now," Doran ordered. "Backs together. Weapons out. No one moves alone." The squad quickly formed a tight circle, facing outward into the fog. Ren stood among them, rifle raised, adrenaline pushing away his exhaustion. For several long minutes, nothing happened. The forest stayed silent. Too silent. Then, without warning, one of the alien soldiers standing at the back of the circle let out a short, sharp cry and vanished into the fog. It happened so fast that no one even saw what grabbed him. Panic spread instantly. "Fire at anything that moves," Doran shouted. Blaster shots lit up the dark forest, but there was nothing to hit. Just shadows, fog, and trees. The creature was too fast, too smart, striking and disappearing before anyone could react. Ren realized something important in that chaos. The creature was not attacking randomly. It was picking off the ones on the edges of the group, the ones who reacted with fear and panic. It was hunting based on weakness, not strength. He shouted over the noise, "Stay calm. It's targeting fear. Stop panicking and stand together." His voice cut through the chaos. Slowly, the squad regrouped, forcing themselves to breathe and think instead of scream and shoot blindly. For the first time, they began working together as one unit, human and alien, standing side by side against the darkness. But the night was far from over, and the creature was only getting started. The squad stood shoulder to shoulder, backs against each other, eyes scanning every shadow in the fog. One soldier was already gone. Fear hung heavy in the air, but Ren's words had done something important. They had stopped the panic before it destroyed the entire group. Doran looked at Ren with a strange expression, something between respect and disbelief. "How do you know how it hunts?" he asked. "I don't know for sure," Ren admitted. "But I noticed it went for the one who broke formation first. Predators like this look for weakness. If we stay together and stay calm, we make it harder for it to choose a target." VEY nodded. "Then we move as one. No separations, no matter what happens." They began moving slowly through the forest, this time in a tight, disciplined formation, unlike anything they had used before. Every soldier watched a different direction. No gaps, no isolated targets. The creature attacked again, this time from the side, but the tight formation gave it no easy opening. It struck at a shield generator carried by one soldier instead of a person, damaging equipment but failing to take another life. The squad fired instantly in the direction of the attack, and for the first time, they heard something new. A low, pained growl. They had heard it. "It's not invincible," Ren said. "It bleeds. It feels pain like anything else." That single realization changed the energy of the group. Fear turned into focus. If the creature could be hurt, it could be fought. It could be stopped. Doran began giving new orders, faster and sharper. "We push forward together. No stopping until we reach the extraction clearing. If it attacks, we fire as one unit, not as individuals." The squad moved with new determination. Every few minutes, they heard rustling in the trees, footsteps circling them from different directions. The creature was testing them, looking for a weak point that no longer existed. Ren stayed near the center of the formation, watching the tree line carefully. His mind kept working, analyzing the sounds, the patterns, the timing of each attack. He noticed something. The attacks always came a few seconds after the loudest panic-driven noises, shouting or careless movement. The creature was reacting to noise as much as fear. "Everyone, keep your voices low," Ren warned. "It's using sound to track us too." The squad fell into a careful silence, moving like a single shadow through the dark forest. Slowly, painfully, they made progress toward the extraction point. The fog began to thin slightly as they reached higher ground, giving them a small but important advantage. Then, ahead in the clearing, they saw the flashing lights of their extraction shuttle waiting exactly where it was supposed to be. Hope returned to the group for the first time that night. But as they moved toward the lights, a massive shadow rose from the darkness directly between them and their only way home. The creature stood fully revealed for the first time, blocking the path to the extraction shuttle. It was even larger than Ren had first thought, its wet black skin glistening faintly under the shuttle's distant lights. Its long clawed limbs flexed slowly, and a deep, rumbling sound came from somewhere inside its massive chest. The squad froze for a moment, staring at the true size of the danger they were facing. Doran raised his weapon, his hand steady despite his fear. "This is it," he said. "We fight now, or we die trying to run." Ren stepped forward slightly, his mind racing. He remembered the creature's pattern. It attacked isolated targets. It reacted to panic and noise. It avoided open, coordinated resistance. If they scattered now, it would pick them off one by one in the final stretch. "Stay in formation," Ren said firmly. "Focus fire on one point. Don't spread out, no matter what. The squad obeyed without hesitation this time. They aimed together at the creature's chest and unleashed a coordinated volley of blaster fire. The creature roared, a sound that shook the fog around them, but it did not retreat. Instead, it charged directly at the group. In that critical moment, Ren did something unexpected. Instead of running backward like instinct demanded, he stepped slightly to the side, drawing the creature's attention toward himself for just a split second, while shouting for the others to keep firing at its exposed side. The creature shifted its charge toward Ren, giving the rest of the squad clear shot at its unprotected flank. A concentrated blast of firepower tore into its side, and the massive creature stumbled, letting out a final, painful roar before collapsing into the mud, unmoving. Silence returned to the forest, but this time, it felt different, safer. Doran rushed toward Ren, checking if he was hurt. Miraculously, Ren had only minor scratches from diving out of the way at the last second. "You saved us," Doran said quietly, his pride finally giving way to genuine respect. "Even after we left you behind." Ren simply nodded. "We made it. That's what matters now." The squad walked the final steps to the shuttle together, no longer divided by species or strength, but united by survival. As the shuttle doors closed and they lifted off into the night sky, Doran looked back one last time at the dark forest below. He finally understood something he had never believed before. Strength was not about speed or size. It was about courage, calm thinking, and refusing to give up, even when everyone else had already given up on you. Weeks later, Coalition scientists studied recordings from the mission. They discovered something unexpected. The creature Ren's squad fought was not simply a random predator. According to mission analysts, it may have been guarding something ancient buried deep beneath that forest, something the crashed supply ship had accidentally disturbed. If true, this means the real danger on Vesek 9 was never fully understood, and reportedly, deeper expeditions are already being planned. But for Ren, the true reveal was simpler and more personal. His squad had left him behind, believing he was the weakest among them. Instead, he became the reason all of them survived the night. Doran, once proud and dismissive, now speaks differently about humans in every mission briefing. This story began with abandonment in the dark. It ends with an unlikely bond built through fear, trust, and survival. Sometimes the ones we underestimate the most turn out to be the reason we make it home at all. If this opened your eyes tonight, you learned that strength is not always loud, and courage is not always obvious until the moment it matters most. You saw one human, judged as weak, become the calm center that held an entire squad together. You witnessed fear turn into focus, and abandonment turn into unexpected loyalty. If this story pulled you in, please hit that like button right now. It truly helps this channel grow. Subscribe if you want more powerful HFY Sci-Fi stories like this one every single week. Drop a comment below and tell me, what would you have done if you were left behind like Ren? For more incredible human versus alien survival stories, check out our next video linked on screen, where humanity proves once again why nobody in the galaxy should ever underestimate us.